welcome to my channel. Wait, I'll tie my apron later. And welcome to my own little corner. Ooh, I haven't done that in a long time. Now back to my nice, beautiful apron. Let me get this on because I don't want to get messy because it's about to get dusty. Yes, it is Easter and today's serving is going to be Jamaican Easter bun. Yes, you know us Jamaicans, there's no Easter without bun and cheese. So I am about to bake you my yummy-licious Jamaican Easter bun. But first I have to protect my clothes, so I have to put my apron on. Okay, and if you can see behind me, those are all the ingredients that I am going to be working with. Okay, so to the front here I have my jam. Yes, I have my grape jelly. I have my cinnamon powder. I am using Malta. I have my browning. I have my cherries. I have my vanilla. I have my raw honey. Yes, I have my sugar. I have my melted butter. I have some fruits and raisins, and I have my eggs beaten, and here I have my flour, and I have a piece of lemon, and I have my baking tins and my mixing bowl. Come, let's bake it. I just need to show you up close. These are my ingredients. These are my ingredients, so I just need to show you what we are working with. Okay, let's get baking. Okay, first I am going to start with my dry ingredients. So I am going to sieve my flour. I'm going to sieve my flour, and use sieve to remove any lump that is in the flour and to make the flour light, right? Sieve to remove lump. And there's nothing. I don't even really have to sieve. Yes. And I'm going to be sieving the flour with the, I'm going to be adding the cinnamon powder, about a tablespoon of cinnamon powder. Yes, I'm making Easter spice bun, so that's about a tablespoon. I am not using any salt because I am already using salted butter. Sorry, I forgot my baking powder. Yes, I am already using salted butter, so I am not using any salt. And I am getting 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's about 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'll put that back in a minute. And then to make my bun fluffy, I need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Yes, so I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So I am going to sieve. I think I need a little bit more because I think I have about, maybe I think I have about 4 cups. All right. Now, let me mix that to incorporate the spices in the flour. Okay, now I am going to add my brown sugar. I have 2 cups of brown sugar. I add my brown sugar, and again I mix to incorporate the sugar into the flour. Yes, I mix to incorporate the sugar into the flour. And I'm going to put this to the side. Yes, put this to the side. Now, in the same bowl that I just used, you know, it's clean, it's just the flour. It's just the flour. Let me remove the flour dust. I am going to add my wet ingredients. I need an opener. I have to grab in my opener. I am adding my wet ingredients, and I am using Malta. You can use Dragon Stout or Guinness, but I am using Malta, and that's open. Yes, that's open. It's open. Sorry. I'm going to pour my Malta. They're small. The bottles are small. So I use 3 because they're very tiny, as you can see, okay? I am coming in with my vanilla, and I don't measure my vanilla. I pour until my ancestors say stop. That's my vanilla. And my honey, I'm not measuring that either. We listen to the ancestors. When they say stop, I stop. Okay, and now I have my melted butter. Why am I thinking that I should have used just 2 Malta? I underestimate them because they're small. Okay, and now my grape jelly. Yes, I comes in with my grape jelly. That's my grape jelly. And I am going to mix to incorporate all the ingredients. I could also mix the sugar in the wet ingredients. If you want, you can mix the sugar in the wet ingredients, but I just add it to my dry ingredients. Whichever way, it is going to dissolve. But you can add to your wet ingredients if you want. Okay, and now I am coming in with my egg. Yes, that's my egg beaten. I don't want to put anything in my sink because I have my dry ingredients in my sink, which I am going to take out right this minute. I was just waiting to clear the space. Okay, now I can put them. Let me rinse my spatula. I'm going to want it. Let me rest it right there. Now I mix to incorporate all the ingredients. What I did last year, when I realized that I mixed too much wet ingredients, I said, okay, no problem. You know what I did? I freezed it. Yes, And a couple of weeks after Easter, I made another another spice bun. Okay. I know I forget something. Alright, now I am adding my browning. That's about 1 teaspoon. Okay. So now I don't want to put back this napkin too far. I am mixing. I want to make sure that the egg and the grape jelly is mixed. Oh my god, this is looking so nice. This is looking so nice. I think I want to show you. You want to see? This is looking so nice. Alright, let me put this to the side for a minute and get this back over here. And it has to mess up my counter. Okay. What I forgot was the lemon. I am actually using it for the lemon zest. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grate the lemon. Yes, to get the lemon zest, I grate the lemon. It is not going in the flour. I grate the lemon to get the zest. I grate it into the wet ingredients. I don't want too much because I don't want to get it bitter. Yes. And because of the egg, I am also going to squeeze some lemon in. No. Let me get a fresh piece of paper towel. Okay. My nutmeg. Let me tuck it in my pocket. I don't like to grate my nutmeg and put them down. I grate my nutmeg when I'm ready to use it because I think it is stronger. So I am grating my nutmeg in my dry ingredients. And you don't want too much nutmeg because it kind of leave a bitter taste. So I don't want too much nutmeg. Alright, I am going to mix to incorporate the nutmeg in my dry ingredients. Okay, now I am going to make a volcano. You're too far, right? I'm going to make a volcano, and I will do that when I'm done. I mess up the place. Okay, I'm going to make a volcano. Let me show you this. I am going to make a volcano. Then I am going to be pouring my wet ingredients into my dry ingredients. Okay. So I pour some of the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients to give me some more space to mix, to make sure I mixed all the grape jelly. I don't want it settled in the bottom. Okay, so now I am going to be pouring, and I am going to pour bit by bit just to make sure that I am not over pouring. Okay, so I am going to mix to incorporate the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Yes, I know I mixed a lot, but as I said, I'm pouring it as I go. I can reuse it. I'm only drying the outside of the pan. Okay. And I don't need a hand mixer for this. I'm giving you authentic Jamaican spice bun, Easter spice bun. So I don't need any hand mixer. My ancestors did not use a hand mixer. And if I'm giving you authentic, I am giving you authentic. So I am mixing. And see, I have enough. I'm not adding any more liquid ingredients. This is enough. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to be mixing and cutting to make sure that I have no dry ingredients at this point. See? I don't need it any looser than this. Yes. Right consistency. Sorry, I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. Yes. Sorry. So now I am coming in with my spatula. Listen, I cannot do without my spatula. My spatula and I are two peas in a pod. Okay. Rest that here. Mix. And I have to clean the edges of the mixing bowl to make sure, as I said, no dry ingredients. And look at the consistency. See? This is perfect. This is perfect. I don't need any more liquid ingredients, so I am going to freeze that. And I will take you along when I'm making the other spice bun. Okay? So at this point, I am going to be coming in with my fruits. And this is soaked in red label wine. Yes. Can't afford the rum. Rum, please. Shh. We are Jamaican. Okay. So I am mixing to incorporate my fruits in my batter. Yes, I don't want to have fruits and raisins on the top and none at the bottom. Okay, I am mixing to incorporate all my fruits and the raisins. And the rum. me show you. I know that you want to see what I am doing over here. So I am mixing to incorporate the fruits in. Oh my God, this is beautiful. You see that? This is beautiful. Okay, so now let me put this out of my way. I think that I will have to re-grease my baking tins. So let me do that quick and fast. Let me rest this right here. I have been greased for a long time, so let me just re-grease my baking tins. I know I have more than two. I was trying to get 2 extra ones. But let me see how skilled I am with my measurement. Let me see how much extras I'm going to get. I need to rinse my hands, so I need to move my butter out. I'll put it back in the fridge in a minute. Remember, I have a piece of paper towel in my pocket. This is what I love most about my apron. It has pockets. Okay, so now it's time to fill my mixing bowls, and I'm going to be using, it is clean, but I need to rinse because I had it on the counter. Okay, I need to fill my baking pans, my loaf pans. Everything is going in my pocket. Okay. All right. I need to fill my baking pans. So this is 1. Or I'm going to get 2. If I get 2, that would be perfect because I would know that my measurement is okay. But I was actually planning on getting an extra one. But if I don't get an extra one, is okay. That's why it is called extra. Okay, 3 cups in this one already. So I'm not going to get any extra. So I'm going to add 3 cups in this one. I don't want it messing up the baking pan. 1. No. So I did exactly the right amount. I think I'm going to do the extra. I have to mix up another one. I have the pan greased already. And I honestly need an extra one. Okay, so that is 3. So we are on 3 in that one. Yes, these are some very large loaf pans. I could cut the video to not make it that long, but you want to see, right? Okay, so that's 4 each. Perfect. I am going to do one extra one. I think this is for this. And if you know me and my spatula, I don't do a thing without my spatula. I don't do a thing without my spatula. I cannot leave my spatula. If I'm cooking, if I'm baking, anything I'm doing, I have my spatula. Okay, so if you have been following me long enough, you know say I may say nothing now waste, nothing now dash waste, so I have to get everything. Yes, I have to get everything. I already have the wet ingredients, so all I need is, or maybe I don't bother, but I have the mixture already. I could just freeze it, or I go ahead and mix up some more dry ingredients, which is the easiest part. And I think I got all that I need. Okay, now I'm going to be cleaning up my baking tin. It's just the edges, so I can use the paper towel. It's just the edge of the pan. So okay, now I am going to be shaking and tapping to fill out the air space, if any. And I have two perfect spice ones. Now last but not least, hold on. Sorry, I did not open my cherry as yet. So I didn't want to length out the video too long. So alright, now I'm going to add my cherries on top. And yes, we know they're sinking because they're heavy. But we're doing them anyways. And I'm adding 4 cherries on top. And 4 cherry on top. Yes. I am ready to show you my Easter spice one. Come on. And just like that, my Easter buns are ready for the oven. Oh my God, they are ready for the oven. Okay, I'm going to put them in the oven and I'm going to bake them for 45 minutes at 350 degrees, and I'm going to be checking as I go. All right, I am going to be putting them in the oven, baking at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. Oh, and I'm going to be setting my tiny Dutch pot with some water underneath because I want them to steam as they bake. Yes, then you get them nice. Guys, I have a confession. No, I did not do my dishes as yet. I went ahead and I made the extra bun. One thing's for certain and 2 things for sure. When I set my mind to something, best believe I'm going to do it. I only have 2 loaf pans, but my mother always say, if you learn to turn your hand and make fashion. So to ensure that I get the other two buns, I turn my hand and make fashion. Or I put in my cherries. I didn't have to tell you. I didn't have to tell you. So shh. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Yes. Oh, you say go drop. By the time I go in the oven and it starts set, it good. And see, I still put on my cherry them. Still putting on my cherries on my can't handle so much on it one. Alright. So me go hurry up and put in the oven now. Me not look on the other one they made. Cause since me tell you something I can wash my dishes, me already have the things them out and everything. So me not sure none of them. Me not sure none of them. Let me just find space to Brata. See Brata they drop here. Brata want to no laugh off of me. Brata they drop. Brata they show off because they no come. He bun me. He bun me. Brata they show off because they no come. And Brata over here. They cheer me on for do it, you know. Brata they cheer me on. That's something I do already, so I know say go work. With the same Easter bun. I do it already. With the same Easter bun, so I know say go work. Brata hypocrite. Okay guys, now that my buns are baking, I'm going to be washing my dishes. These are for the garbage. You're going in the garbage. I don't know where you're running to. Let me empty the garbage. Okay. As I said, you know, I make it clean as you go, right? So yeah, as soon as we finish, we have to wash more over. I need my sink. This is my Clorox. I don't do my dishes without my Clorox, and I use warm water, hot water. Yes. I make it clean as you go. Anyway, guys, about the other. About the extra, I couldn't help it. I could not help it at all. I had the mixture and I'm like, I could freeze it like I did last year, but no. The blade is slipping. It is slipping because of the Clorox on my hand. Water is too hot. The Clorox. To glaze my bun, I have some butter and some honey. I'm going to put in the microwave to melt the butter. Okay guys, it is actually 1 hour and 2 minutes. So let's see what's going on for my buns. Well, let's see. Okay guys, let's check to see if the buns are ready. Well, I guess so. I am going to be glazing them with the butter and the honey. The extras are still baking. Remember, we have to give them some extra time because they went in last. Yeah, so let me glaze my bun. I'm going to glaze them and cover them with the file paper to seal in the moisture. And then when they're cool, we cut and taste. Okay, but these are done. Yes, I'm glazing them. You know, you have to glaze your bun. I'm messing up my stove. Sorry about that. And look at that, I have two perfect, authentic Jamaican Easter bun. Yes, two perfect, authentic Jamaican Easter spice bun. I don't have to go to the store. I don't have to go to the store because I bake my own. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, so I'm going to be as I said, I'm glazing them. Then I'm going to cover. This is honey and melted butter. Yes, so glaze them and then I cover them to seal in the moisture. And yes, you glaze them while they're still hot. Remember, I just took them out the oven. And you can't see the cherries. Remember, I had cherries on top. Who was I fooling? Yes, and I will leave some for the extras. The extras that's in the stove. They're so pretty, you're not going to believe. Okay, I'm going to cover. Look, I am messing up my stove. Alright, I will clean it in a minute. Let me capture the heat in the buns. Yes, because it's best to cover them while they're still hot to seal in the moisture. And as you can see, oops, my buns are soft and nice. And these are my yellow authentic Jamaican Easter spice bun. Yes. It is hot. You cover with the file paper to seal in the moisture. And then when they're cool, and let me hurry and go clean up my stove. When they're cool, we will cut together and see how it goes. All right. Do you remember the extra buns? Remember I was making 2 extra buns? You want to see the extra buns? You really want to see them? Okay, I am going to show you. It's only fair because you was here. Come. Yes guys, so this is the extra bun. Yes, remember the extra bun? This is the extra bun and I'm glazing it like I did the others. and then I'm going to cover it with a foil paper and leave it to cool. Yes, and you see, I got two two yummylicious buns. My mother always say, we have to learn to turn our hand and make fashion. I see there. Two yummylicious buns. I'm going to cover them and allow them to cool. And just as always, you know, they say all good things must come to an end. But in my case, it's always a very good ending. Because anytime I finish, you know, say I finish cook or finish bake, and then I time to eat. So when they're cool, then we're going to cut and taste together. How is that?
I wait around go. What's up, man? You push me down. Wait around go. What's up? Oh, you here, say? Oh, you never see a lady without a turning.
I'm your favorite time of year, not even breakfast. I'm baking one. What you know about Easter bun? What you know about Easter bun? And you bake your own sweet actually, you know. Healthy slice and some cheese. Easter bun. Me and you know. At the best time of year right now. See that? Fluffy. Chewy and nice.